Everybody, what's going on? As everybody knows, Ryan Garcia tested positive for banned substances as a result of VADA tests that I believe he took before and after the fight. That's where the results came from. I believe the dates were somewhere around the week of the fight that the tests were taken. And I guess there was a test taken before the fight and a test taken after the fight. And he tested positive, I believe, for ostarine in both of those tests, right? So now, obviously, you hear the outcries, oh, the fight should be overturned. Oh, what's Ryan Garcia doing? He's a cheater. He's this and that. And again, I'm not here to defend Ryan Garcia, right? You guys know I have my positions on PEDs, right? Banned substances. I'm not really concerned with the whole testing thing. There's only like one substance that if I was a fighter, I'd really be concerned about someone if they were taking it, and that's EPO. EPO definitely can help any athlete in any sport because of the increase in red blood cells that it produces in the body, which helps with the utilization of oxygen. And as we all know, or we should know, when someone gets hit in the head, for that split second, the brain short circuits because there is uh, a quick shut off valve basically from the brain getting the oxygen, right? So definitely the EPO helps with oxygen utilization, which increases stamina, which also helps fighters recover from the head blows quicker, right? Because again, it turns that switch back on because it helps with the utilization of the oxygen and the brain's, you know, primary fuel, right, is glucose, but also its primary, substance it uses to function is oxygen as well. So once the oxygen is cut off from the brain for long periods of time, you suffer brain damage. We all know that. So we're not going to do an anatomy class here. So that's my stance on PEDs. You don't have to agree with it. That's fine. I get it, right? So, here's the thing. We've been here before, right? So and so fails a VADA test. So what's going to happen next? Well, more than likely, nothing, because most of these commissions, if not just about all of them, do not recognize VADA. We've heard Eddie Hearn say this. The BBOC does not recognize VADA. They only recognize UCAD. And we saw how the Connor Benn situation played out. We saw how the Oscar Valdez situation played out. We saw how the Alicia Bumgardner situation played out, right? We saw how the Luis Neri situation played out. We can go down the list of all of these boxers who have come up positive. Dillian White's another one. All these boxers who came up positive on a VADA test, and what happened at the end of the day? Nothing, because the commission did not act on the positive results because VADA cannot adjudicate. And I repeat, not to sound redundant, a lot of these commissions do not use those results and adjudicate based off of those results from VADA. As long as you pass the commission tests, that's all the commissions care about. And even the WBC with their clean boxing program, they tout how VADA is so great, but then when they get the VADA results, they don't even act on them half the time, right? So again, what are we doing here? What's the sense of even having VADA? If I was a fighter or I was a promoter, I'd be saying to myself, what am I paying for here? My opponent can test positive in a VADA test, but nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. So what's the sense? Like, we're just going through the motions here. It's almost like this is like a virtue signal just to say, hey, we're doing something here. But the end result doesn't change, right? So everyone's like, oh, well, what's going to happen next? Are they going to overturn the decision? Is Ryan Garcia going to get suspended? Well, here's the thing. Even if he does get suspended, which I doubt he'll even happen, right? Even if he does get suspended, what's it going to be for 6 months? Just in time for him to be able to fight again, right? So again, what are we doing here? What difference does it really make? Then you have Victor Conti out here blowing his horn and doing what he normally does. And, what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing. Alicia Baumgardner still has her titles, right? She's going to be fighting again. Conor Benn was still able to fight again, right? We've seen other fighters. Dillian White still able to fight again. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, look what he's doing right now. He's going to be on another huge card after just being on that Day of Reckoning card, right? What happened to him? Look at all the drug tests he tested positive for. Oh, well, there was a loophole, right? So again, like, stop with this oh, is there VADA testing? Is there VADA? Who gives a fuck? It's not going to matter anyways. That would be like, right? Calling the cops because someone broke in your house, right? The cop shows up at your house, sees the criminal there, right? With the bag of your goods. And he looks over to you and says, yeah, this guy broke into your house. He's stealing your property. He's stealing your items, right? We can confirm that. But guess what? We're not going to arrest him. We're just here to let you know that, yeah, this guy's committing a crime. He did something wrong. And we're just going to report this to the police station, but we're not going to arrest him. Nothing's going to happen. You'd be looking at the cop saying, what the fuck did I call you for? What good are you? That would be like, again, a cop just writing traffic tickets all day. But at the end of the day, all those people that receive traffic tickets, guess what? They don't have to pay them. We're just here to identify that you guys were speeding. We're just letting the public know, right? We're letting the registry know that you've speeded. But we're not going to punish you for it. That's what VADA is. That's what VADA is. Right? So all you people saying, oh, well, Devin Haney's going to sue Ryan Garcia. Sue him for what? For what? What are you going to sue him for? What crime did he commit? You took the $1.5 million for him being overweight, right? What's going to happen now? Nothing's going to happen. What are you going to sue Ryan Garcia for? There's no damages. There's no loss of money. There's no crime he committed, right? You don't go to jail for taking steroids. There's no law in the books that say, like, steroids are illegal, right? Just like cocaine is illegal, right? But if you take a drug test and cocaine is found in your system, you don't go to jail for that. The person who sold you the cocaine, you can go to jail for distributing illegal substances. It's not a crime. It's not a felony to take a banned illegal substance. So what are you going to sue him for? Right? What are you going to sue him for? Gino's asking, what's the drug? It's Osterin. And again, this is my opinion. This is just my opinion, right? What a lot of these PEDs, these boxers are taking, right? This is an unpopular opinion, and I know I'm going to get blasted for it, but I don't give a fuck. A lot of these drugs that these boxers are taking, right? They help with recovery. They help with injuries, all right? Are they going to help with performance? That's debatable because, again, you can argue, well, if the guy's recovering faster, he's getting it. Again, it's not going to make him better than what he is. Like Paulie Malignaggi cannot take nandrolone and go out there and knock out Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It's just not going to happen. So again, not all these drugs are created equal, right? Again, EPO, another level. Oxygen utilization. You get hit in the head for that split second, the brain short circuits, right? And there's a cuts off that oxygen to the brain for that split second with EPO, helping with the oxygen utilization. That oxygen is shuttled to the brain much quicker than it would be because of the excess of the red blood cells helping with the utilization of the oxygen. I believe that. Correct. So EPO, yes. If I found out someone took EPO and I was fighting him, I'd have a big problem with that. If I knew they were taking it before the fight, I'd have a big problem with that. Do I care if someone's taking fucking nandrolone so they can heal up an injury or something? I don't give a fuck about this. Oh, well, synthetic testosterone. Doesn't matter, man. Like, again, right? If your testosterone is still within the normal range and I found out you were taking synthetic testosterone, again, I don't, this is, again, my opinion, right? So do I care if Ryan Garcia took Ostrin? I don't give a shit. I don't. But again, a lot of this VADA stuff, to me, honestly, is just a big giant virtue signal because nothing will ever be done because they can't adjudicate, right? And most of the commissions do not do anything or act upon these positive VADA tests. So at the end of the day, what are we really doing here? I know we're all up in arms. There's going to be all this outrage. Oh, if it's cheating, there should be an asterisk, whatever. But guess what? There's no asterisk next to Oscar Valdez. There's no asterisk next to Alicia Baumgartner. There's no asterisk next to James Toney. There's no asterisk next to Roy Jones and all those fights. There's no asterisk next to Luis Neri's fights. There's no asterisk next to Dillian White's fights. So again, let's just look at the empirical data, the anecdotal evidence that we have in front of us. Let's just look at it all, right? We have to just come to the conclusion that these VADA tests mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. And on the rare occasions that someone does act on these VADA tests, what happens? We'll give you a 6-month suspension. Big fucking whoopee. What does that actually really, really do? You know? So I can beat this horse till I'm blue in the face, right? People can come out, go on Twitter. They can have their, oh, someone's going to die. Someone this, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? At the end of the day, what really happens? Thank you, Hamza Azeb, for the $10 super chat. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. So at the end of the day, nothing's really going to matter, right? You can get the lawyers all you want, but there is no crime here, right? There's no crime here. Did David Benavidez get sued when he tested positive for cocaine? Did Canelo get sued when he tested positive for clenbuterol? Did Oscar Valdez get sued when he tested positive for phentermine? Did Dillian White get sued when he tested positive for all those stimulants he had in his system? No, nothing is going to happen. You can get all the lawyers you want. There's no case. There's no case. Let's just be real. And I will always show you my true colors. Why would I show you my fake colors? Is that so you want to see my fake colors? Mr. Dead Game Boxing? Of course I'm going to show you my true colors. Did you really come on here to hear me, to want me to lie to you? Is that what you came here for? I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. So let's just deal with the reality of the situation. We all know more than likely nothing is going to happen. The fight will still stand, just like Oscar Valdez's result still stood, just like Luis Neri's result still stood, right? Just like Dillian White's result still stood, just like Alicia Baumgartner's result still stood, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is. So if you guys think that because he tested positive from on a VADA test that anything's going to happen, that boxing is going to do anything about it, nobody really cares. They're all just going through the motions just to say we did something. It's a big, gigantic, fucking fake virtue signal, and all the pearl clutchers will be out in full force. But really, really, are you going to stop buying or watching Ryan Garcia fights because he tested positive? Did you stop watching Oscar Valdez fights? Did you stop watching Canelo fights? Right? Are you gonna watch the Luis Nery fight versus Naoya Inoue? Are you gonna boycott that because he tested positive for a PED in the past? Like, so again, what are we really doing here? Does anyone really fucking care? Does anybody really fucking care? The answer to that question is, I don't think so. A lot of people pretend they care. A lot of people will act like they care. You'll have the Victor Contis of the world who are just using this to help sell supplements, to help sell his programs to fighters. See, you don't need to take PEDs. I'll give you an alternative to PEDs. Come work with me. Come buy my supplements. Right? And then he refers all these fighters to VADA, right? In order to help convince them to buy his supplements, right? We're going to prove how clean you are and you can do it without the drugs, and just keep using my supplements. Keep jumping in my hyperbaric chambers, right? Keep coming to my training facility. Keep wearing my snack logo and helping me sell my products. Again, let's just call this for what it is. Victor Conti does not give a fuck about people taking PEDs, because if he didn't get caught, he would still be pushing PEDs to this day. And the only reason why he's not is because he got caught. So let's not pretend that he woke up one day and he had this sudden cathartic experience where he's like, okay, he had an epiphany. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. He does not give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay? Nobody gives a fuck. Ryan won't fight for 2 years after this minimum? Really? Conor Benn fought 8 months after he tested positive. Oscar Valdez fought and continued to fight. Canelo Alvarez fought 6 months after he tested positive. Have you not been paying attention, brother? Have you not been paying attention? Apparently you haven't. You must be living in a vacuum if you haven't been paying attention. Let's just be real about this. Let's stop with the bullshit. Okay? Let's just stop with the bullshit. Please. All right, so I don't know what else I can say about this. There's really not much more, but let's see how this unfolds. I'm going to tell you right here what I believe is going to happen. Okay? I do not think that fight will be overturned. I don't even think Ryan Garcia will get suspended, because I don't think the commission will act on it, just like the commission has not done anything to Alicia Baumgardner, just like the sanctioning bodies have not stripped Alicia Baumgardner. Look at Alicia Baumgardner still has her fucking titles. She still has her fucking titles. The commission did nothing and the sanctioning body did nothing. So why are fighters and promoters paying for VADA tests? Explain to me. Okay, she hasn't fought, but she's getting ready to fight. She'll be fighting very soon. She hasn't been suspended. The fight was not overturned. She still has her titles. So what did she really lose? And guess what? Once she starts fighting again, nobody is going to give a fuck. Right? Nobody's going to give a fuck. Okay? I will bet you right now, Dead Game Boxing, $1,000. I'm on camera right now. I will bet you $1,000 Ryan Garcia does not receive a 2-year ban. Dillian White did not receive a 2-year ban. Oscar Valdez did not receive a 2-year ban. Luis Neri did not receive a 2-year ban, right? Canelo Alvarez did not receive a 2-year ban. Alicia Bumgarner did not receive a 2-year ban. Connor Ben did not receive a 2-year ban, right? Roy Jones did not receive a 2-year ban. James Toney did not receive a 2-year ban. Okay? So again, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's just be honest. We all know nothing's going to happen. And if there's the slim chance that something does happen, it's going to be very minimal. It's not going to matter. It's going to be inconsequential. It's going to be trivial. We all know that. We all know that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't recall Dillian White ever getting a 2-year ban. And I know in his most recent tests that he failed. He wasn't even reprimanded for it. So I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay. And I'm not saying no one's ever received a 2-year ban. Tyson Fury received a post-dated 2-year ban, right? It's happened before. But those incidences are not in the United States. That's number one. Okay. So you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, Alexander Wilson. Believe me, I'm not challenging you on that. On the rare occasions it does happen, it happens in the UK. It doesn't happen here. So, Ryan Garcia is an American fighter. He fought on American soil. I don't remember any American fighter in boxing. And if I'm wrong, I'll fess up to it. I don't remember any American fighter getting a 2-year ban for testing positive for PEDs. I know Zolani Tete actually got a 4-year ban, right, from UCAD and the BBOC. So again, I'm not saying those fighters haven't been punished, but again, when you look at Zolani Tete, he failed a UCAD test. Dillian White failed a UCAD test. No one gets banned when they fail a VADA test. That's the crux of the argument if you really want to get technical. So I'm not challenging you, Alexander Wilson, not at all. But what I will say is a lot of these commissions, a lot of these sanctioning bodies, they'll talk a good game when it comes to VADA, but every time the VADA test comes back, oh, well, this is a separate third-party test, right? They always play that game, right? Jarrell Miller didn't get a 2-year ban. He got off on a technicality, right? He got off on a technicality, and he failed multiple VADA tests. And this guy was just on the Day of Reckoning card, and he's coming back again in June? Or I think, is it June, or is he on the June card or the August card? I can't remember, but he's coming back soon. He's coming back soon. So let's just tell the truth. Let's just be real here. Let's look at history. Let's look at the empirical data. Let's look at the anecdotal evidence. Let's look at it all. Let's just look at it all. He's on the August card. Thank you. Yeah, he didn't get a 2-year ban. Nope. Nope. He did not. Dead Game is not going to get 1,000. Come on. When is name me an instance where an American got a 2-year ban? Name it. Name it. Jarrell Miller was back in the ring like not too long after that, Josh. Like maybe he was probably off for like a year, maybe 16 months, whatever. Yeah, but it got appealed, so it didn't stand. No, Miller didn't go 4 years without fighting. Stop it. Come on. Come on. Let's not lie about that. Let's not lie about that. He did not go 4 years without fighting. All right. So again, we all know how this is probably going to play out. Let's just be honest about it. Bill is connected. Okay. Okay. Miller didn't fight in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Okay. Errol Spence didn't fight for almost or Jamal Charlo didn't fight for almost 2.5 years. What's that mean? Was he banned for 4 years? Did he get a 4-year ban? Did he get a 2-year ban? You just said that he won his appeal, right? So he didn't get a 2-year ban. Yeah, I got Bitcoin. I have a Coinbase account. I don't mind doing Bitcoin with you. So you probably won't pay me when you lose though, so I'm not going to be holding my breath. Yeah, so name a fighter that actually got a 2-year ban. All I know is he did not get a 2-year ban. I'm 40 years old. Thank you very much for asking. Not sure how that's relevant to the conversation, but yeah. Show me an article posted in the chat that Jarrell Miller got a 2-year ban. And if you're right, I'll apologize to you. I don't have a problem being wrong. I did not see any information that Jarrell Miller got a 2-year ban. From what was being reported, he got off on a technicality, and that technicality always seems to be, oh, the commission doesn't recognize VADA testing. Hence the point. Why do they even do it? VADA can't adjudicate. So what good are they? What difference does it make? That's the thing. Here's what it is. Now, here's a problem with Sparky, with the situation with Jarrell Miller. Now, again, his reputation was damaged. A lot of promoters said to themselves, yeah, why are we don't want to put this guy on a card where he could test positive, and then we don't want to invest our time, money, and resources into a card. So of course that's going to, there's going to be some negative repercussions to a guy like Jarrell Miller. But someone who's a named fighter, right? It took a while for people to start trusting Jarrell Miller again, promoters and stuff like that. I fully understand that. But if you're a named fighter like Conor Benn, or you're like Canelo Alvarez, or even like Valdez, like these fighters, and like all these fighters, champions or whatever, they're not doing 2-year bans, bro. They're not doing 2-year bans. Not at all. Ryan doesn't have to prove shit. It's not going to matter at the end of the day. He's going to get a slap on the wrist, if any. That fight will still stay on his record as a W. It's not going to get overturned. It's not going to get overturned. That's just the reality of the situation. You have to accept facts. It's not going to get overturned. It's that simple. And again, that's a great point. Eric Rosas says, basically, I believe Ryan took a tainted supplement the morning before the fight. If he only popped the day of and the day after, more than likely what's going to happen is that's probably the defense they're going to use, and that defense has held up. Nope. It wouldn't be more serious, because again, USADA, when they were testing for boxing, right? They were not allowed to adjudicate either. That's why USADA doesn't work with. The one reason why USADA won't work with boxing is because boxing will not allow USADA to adjudicate. When the UFC was working with USADA, USADA was allowed to adjudicate. So if USADA handed down a suspension to a UFC fighter, it would be honored. VADA doesn't adjudicate. They just don't. They don't even have the resources that USADA will actually conduct the investigation, right? They work with like the labs and stuff. VADA doesn't do all that. That's why the USADA tests were so much more expensive. Yes, UFC did stop working with USADA. Exactly correct. Yeah, they do. They're working with drug-free sport now. We'll see how that goes. But UFC did work with USADA for many years, and USADA was handing down the suspensions. They were doing the investigations, and they were adjudicating each case for each fighter. And fighters weren't just getting 6-month suspensions. Some fighters were getting 2-year bans. So there have been UFC fighters have gotten 2-year bans. So it is what it is. It won't be a no contest. Trust me, it's not going to be a no contest. Just telling you that right now. It's not going to be a no contest. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. I'm probably going to go live later in the day. I want to talk about this Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia fight and the zone charging like $79, $80 for this fight. What happened to, well, I don't want to talk too much about it now. I'm gonna do a separate video about that, about how the zone and their constant price gouging of the American consumer. That's coming next. So hopefully you guys can come back and watch that. But until next time, Beeb is out. Make sure you check out the Ringside Reporter podcast. Make sure you check out the Roundtable, not only on my channel, but on D-Style Boxing's channel. And I will catch all of you guys later. Have a great day and stay safe.